a 60-minute Mat Pilates class. And all you're gonna need is a yoga strap. Or you could just use a belt too, right? Isn't that right, Callie? Yes, this is Callie. So come on down to your back. When you're ready. She's gonna obsess about this now. All right. So coming into your supine home position, coming onto your back, find your anchor points, your head, the back of your ribs, your sacrum, and your heels. And then let your inner thighs stay a little active. So you're keeping your legs parallel. Start to focus on your breath. You can even put your hands on the side of your ribs. As you inhale, expand into your hands, widen your rib cage. As you exhale, narrowing your ribs. Inhale, expand. Exhale, condense and narrow. Keep focusing on your breath and the movement of your rib cage. Make sure to relax your face. Relaxing your cheeks, your eyes, your jaw. Letting go of your day, letting go of anything on your mind. The only thing true is the sun, the moon, and you. That is the true essence of spirituality, is to focus in on yourself. Because when we can tune into ourself and we know ourself, we know how to react to the external world. Feeling your breath, taking up space in your body, in your lungs. Feel the connection of your body to the earth. Feeling the ground underneath you, holding you, supporting you. Slowing the breath down helps to turn on your parasympathetic nervous system. In this nervous system, we are able to think with more clarity and more confidence. If we are in a state of fear, fight or flight, or freeze, that means we're in the sympathetic nervous system, which is the more anxious, triggered nervous system. So the only way to really turn on the parasympathetic is through a deeper, slower breath. See if you can move your breath down into your hips, into your pelvic bowl, where your parasympathetic vagus nerve lives. Down into the hips, into your root chakra. Notice if you're feeling more calm now that you've slowed your breath. Now, let's work a little more on contraction, working our core. So as you inhale, move your breath down into your pelvic bowl. As you exhale, lift up from the inner spot of your pelvic bowl, the root chakra, pretty much, right? It's that bottom of the pelvic bowl, the pelvic floor. Inhale, expand your ribs, move down into the pelvic bowl. And exhale, engage and lift up the pelvic floor within your pelvic bowl. So if you can imagine that your pelvis is a bowl, right? And the bottom of a bowl is flat, and then around it is round, yeah? So the pelvic floor is at the flat part of your bowl. That's the root chakra. That's your pelvic floor. And when you can contract, when you can lift up from that spot, you're able to turn on all of your core muscles, the cylinder of your core, your abdominal wall. I also like to think of the tissue, my abdominal tissue, lifting up from my pubic bone towards my sternum without moving the skeleton, right? It's just the tissue. It's an engagement. It's a squeezing, a contraction of your muscle tissue. So let's do that. Inhale, expand, expand down and wide. And exhale, lift in and up and narrow and shrink. One more time. Inhale, widen and expand, down and wide. And exhale, lift up and shrink and condense. Feel the contraction of your cylinder. Okay, beautiful. So we've got our breath, our diaphragm breathing, and we've got our pelvic floor co-contraction core breath. Now let's do a little more movement. Take your legs together, bring your feet together. So connect the inner thighs, knees, and feet together. We're going into a knee sway. So you're gonna let your knees move. You're gonna let your knees move over a little bit, just a little bit to the side. And I want you to put your hands on your ribs and keep the opposite ribs down. So you're not lifting the ribs. And then inhale to center. Exhale, knees sway the other way. Keep those ribs down. I like to use my hands to kind of press. And inhale to center. Exhale, sway. Inhale. Exhale, sway. Inhale, center. Exhale, gentle sway. Keep the legs together. Inhale, center. Exhale, sway. Inhale, center. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. It's tough to keep those ribs down. They like to move. So this is about teaching. The purpose of this is about teaching you how to separate your spine, your core, your torso from your pelvis. So your pelvis is rocking, but your torso stays still, grounded. It's subtle and it can be challenging. It can take a lot of practice. Remember, this is never about perfection. That's why it's called practice. We practice at life. We practice at being better, at learning, growing, evolving. It's all a practice. Let's go one more on each side. All right. Take a moment to take a breath and relax the face here. We're going to go into some rolling bridges. So take your feet and separate your feet about the distance of your hand, your fist, or sit bones, right? It's all the same. And then we're going to start with rolling bridge. Go into a north tilt with your pelvis, curling your tailbone, and then start to roll up bone by bone. Now, as you arrive into bridge, I want you to keep your shoulder blades down. Sink your sternum, reach the knees forward as you press down into your heels. Imagine your heels want to touch your sit bones. So they're slightly, almost like they want to drag in, okay? When you do that, you should feel your hamstrings. Now you have your glute creases that are your gluteal folds that go from your glutes to your hamstrings. I want you to press from your gluteal folds rather than from just the back of the knees. So it's more hamstring, upper hamstring, and lower glute. Take another inhale here. And exhale, undulate down your spine, keeping that curl, the north tilt, until you arrive at the bottom. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, north tilt, curl up along your spine. Hold at the top, inhale, long spine. Exhale, undulate down. Keep the legs parallel, inner thighs slightly active. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, north tilt, curl and undulate, rolling up. Inhale at the top, long spine. Exhale, roll down. Take your time, keep the thighs parallel. Okay, let's come on back up. Exhale and hold at the top. Good, stay here in your bridge. Now, straighten extend your left leg so your thighs are parallel. So whenever I say to extend the knee, it means to straighten your knee, not to move your thigh bone. And then you're holding this one leg extension. And now notice if you're shifting all your weight onto the right side. Keep a little more weight on your left side and use your inner thighs to hold you still and stable in the center. One more inhale here. Exhale, bending your knee, come to the ball of your foot first, and then roll down to your heel. Hold your bridge, reconnect with your gluteal folds, reaching them up. Inhale, straighten your right leg, extending the knee without moving your thigh. So legs are parallel, inner thighs are active. Inhale, create more length. Exhale, bend your knee, come to the ball of your foot, and roll down to your heel. Take an inhale here. Exhale, undulate down. Beautiful. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, north tilt, roll up. Inhale, straighten your left leg. Exhale to hold. Inhale, bend the knee. Exhale, roll down to the heel. Inhale, long spine. Straighten your right leg. Exhale, hold. Co-contract. Inhale, bend your knee. Exhale to ball to heel. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, undulate down. So we're really focusing on stabilizing the core and working the posterior legs, the hips and glutes. Exhale, come on up again. Inhale, this time you can straighten or you can hip flex, bringing the leg towards the sky. Take an exhale, and then inhale, start to undulate down your spine with the straight leg. Exhale, bend your knee to the ball of your foot and then roll to the heel. Inhale here. Exhale, undulate up, roll your bridge. Inhale, straighten the leg, option extend it up to the sky. Take an exhale to hold, keep the weight on the right side. And then inhale to undulate down, keeping the leg up. Exhale, bending your knee to the ball of your foot, and then roll to your heel. Take an inhale. Exhale, north, come on up to bridge. It's our last time. Inhale, straighten the left leg, option to take it to the sky. Exhale here, use your gluteal folds to lift higher. And then exhale, roll down your spine. Keeping the center, inhale, bend your knee. Exhale, roll down to the heel. Take an inhale first. Exhale, come on up to bridge. Inhale, straighten the right leg. Exhale, start to roll down your spine. Inhale, bend. Exhale, roll to the heel. All right, beautiful. So from this, we're going to nod the nose down and float the head, sink your sternum, and reach the arms forward. So you are thinking again about the tissue of your abdominals pulling or drawing up away from the pubic bone towards your sternum. It's all about that work deep, deep within your cylinder. This is hundreds. So you're welcome to keep the feet here, or take the knees over the hips and then tabletop your legs. Reach the shoulder blades down towards your hips. Start pumping your arms. Down, 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 down. Arms are straight. Spread the fingers. Smile your collarbones. So it's an inhale for 5. I don't want to hit you, Callie. Exhale for 5. She's putting her chin on my hand. Inhale for 5. Okay, I'll pat you. Exhale for 5. Inhale for 5. Exhale for 5. Keep your sacrum down. Inhale for 5. Sink your sternum. Exhale for 5. So you're exhaling, you're feeling that sternum sink. You're using the work of your thoracic to keep your head up. She is eating something. I don't know what it is. She's like a baby. You never know what she wants to put in her mouth. Oh, that'll be it. All right, here we go. Last time, inhale. And exhale. You can go ahead and lower the head and lower your feet. Feel free to take a moment to relax. Okay, so before we go into the next mat exercise, we'll do a little EE. This is called clamshell, or I'm sorry, open hip. So stay in your home position and then keep centered through your pelvis. Keep the pelvis centered. So that means that both sides of your hips are down, your sacrum is buried, and you're not going to go into a north tilt either. Start with your left leg by letting the left leg open, the hip open, without changing the right leg and without tilting or rocking your hips. Exhale to center. Inhale, open the right hip without letting the left side lift. Exhale, center. Inhale, left. Exhale, center. Inhale, right. Exhale, center. So we're working on abduction and adduction. Out. And you might notice tightness. That's normal, especially if you've been sitting today. Inhale, out. Exhale, in. Now the challenge, right, is the pelvis. If you need a tactile cue because you're not with your trainer, then take your hands to the front of your hip bones and make sure they don't move. That's how you know. Inhale. Exhale, center. Inhale, out. Exhale, center. Inhale. And exhale. So you're not just relaxing the leg, yeah? You're not just going to collapse. You're controlling it the whole time. You're feeling the pelvis grounded, and you're using your gluteus medius to help open, to press out. That's the difference. We're using activation. It's not passive. Okay, one more on each side. The challenge also is to make sure that center leg doesn't change. It doesn't try to counter. Okay, good. Let's take it to home position. Now start with your left leg. We're taking the yoga strap. Take your foot inside, underneath the yoga strap. Now I'm keeping the ball of my foot on the strap. And instead of a full flexion here, I want you to, or dorsiflexion, I want you to do a little more press up through the ball of your foot, a slight point of your foot. And then sink your femur down. So a lot of times when I say sink your femur down, it means to sort of surrender the weight. Because what happens, we typically want to press. You know, there's this like feeling of when we straighten the leg, sometimes people want to press their leg up. And I'm trying to avoid that. So instead, I want you to keep the femur, the thigh bone heavy, your sit bone reaching down, right? And you're just straightening the leg from straightening your knee. And then see if you can activate the VMO by lifting your kneecap even more. That's how we straighten the leg. Okay, now let's just start with a little internal and external rotation. Notice I have my elbows on the ground. So I'm keeping my shoulder blades down, my collarbones are smiling. I'm not changing my upper body. That's so important that we have those anchor points. And this is like, I would like to imagine making guacamole with a mortar and pestle. Just like a light mash down. Oh, Callie is so happy. Oh, she heard me say your name. There she is. Hi, Callie. I know you want to chew your bone. I can't help you right now. I have to teach a class. I know. She's like, can you just like hold it with your elbow? She's so funny. Oh my goodness. How old is she gonna be? 5? Oh. She's like 35, right? And she's our age. Okay, so let's go into the full range. Start with an external rotation and then move out to the side without moving the pelvis, right? That's so important. And then let the pelvis rock a little bit, just a little bit when you cross the midline. Out, and your arms can straighten as your leg goes out. And then cross the midline, internal rotation. External rotation, internal rotation. External rotation, internal rotation. One more time this way. And then we switch. So internally rotate, cross, let the pelvis rock a little. And then externally rotate, keep the pelvis stable. So we did those hip openers so we could feel what it's like to stabilize the pelvis when it's opening, right? When the hip is opening, which is exactly what you want to do here. So this is about training the deep internal, external thigh work. Okay, one more circle. Awesome. Now remove the strap. Now that you can feel, you know what it feels like, we're going to do it without the strap. Okay, so keeping your knee bent, keep your arms down, and then cross the midline first, internally rotate, and then stabilize as you externally rotate. Cross, you can let the hips rock, and then stabilize as you open. Inhale, and the exhale is kind of a swoop. It's a little faster. Inhale, cross, exhale, swoop. One more circle. And then switch, open, stabilize, cross, let the hip rotate. Stabilize, open, little cross, rotate. If you want to be more advanced, you can straighten the grounded leg. Oh yeah, feel that resistance, that counterbalance. One more time. Beautiful. Go ahead and bend your knee. Let your foot come down. Let's take the strap for the other side. Take your leg up here. Press, stay on the ball of the foot. Give a little point to the foot. Internal, external rotation. So what happens typically is if you're looking at your foot, if you're new to proximal initiation, you might see that your foot's moving before your thigh. But I want you to think more about starting from your thigh. Start from your hip socket, right? We're mashing guacamole. And then from the hip, it moves up to the foot. So it starts in the hip, goes up to the foot. And you might start to feel burnage. Whenever you feel any burning in your body, remind yourself the science of what that is. It's lactic acid. It is the metabolic process of your muscles working and moving blood flow into the tissues. So that's all it means. When you feel burnage, it means that you're getting blood flow. And if you know the benefits of blood flow, it means you're bringing more oxygen. And that means your muscles are able to feel more, right? It's when we don't bring blood flow into certain muscles that they become numb. We cannot feel them anymore. Oh, thank you, Kelly. Thank you. I know. I love you too. I love you. Gosh, she's so loving today. She must have really missed me. Oh, I missed you too. Okay, we're gonna go with the circles. I know. No, not in the ear. Okay, here we go. Out, externally rotate, stabilize the hips, and then cross the midline. Externally rotate, cross the midline. Externally rotate, cross the midline. Remember, you can straighten the elbows as the leg goes forward. Keep a little bit of that point in the foot. One more time. Make sure to stabilize the other leg. And let's cross the midline, internally rotate, and then externally rotate and open. Internally rotate, externally rotate. Straighten through the elbows. Good, 2 more times. Beautiful, and let's go without the strap. Take your strap to the side. Stay down, arms strong. Here we go. Externally rotate, stable hips, and then cross the hip and rotate. Stable hips, you externally rotate, and then a little rotation. Stable hips, little rotation. You're feeling the opposite leg here working. And then you can always straighten that grounded leg if you want more challenge. Okay, let's switch direction, cross the midline. Externally rotate, stable hips. Little rock over, stable hips to open. Cross, externally rotate, open. Cross, external rotation, open. Cross, and open. 2 more. You got this. It's all about feeling it from the thigh, from the hip socket. All right, go ahead and bend your knee. Beautiful work. Now we get to combine the 2 legs together into corkscrew. I really like that name, corkscrew. It's, you know, like when you open a bottle of wine, right? You've got to turn the corkscrew. So that's exactly what your hip sockets are doing. So when we do this with 2 legs, you're still going to do the internal and external rotation, but you're just going to keep your legs together. So we're keeping a stable core. That's the purpose. Stable core. And then it's the internal and external rotators. Okay, Kelly. I don't want to hit you. Okay, maybe I won't go as low. I probably won't need to. Okay. So she's not. She's like, whatever. She's like, corkscrew away. All right, so we're gonna cross. We're gonna go to one side. Legs stay together, right? And then notice that you want to keep, oh, she's grunting. We want to keep those hips stable, and then we rotate the other way. So come to center, and then switch direction. The other way. Keep those hips stable. So we don't want to just let the legs swing around, because then if we let the legs swing around, the hips are going to rock around, and we're not holding our core very well. Think about your core, your co-contraction, and then you're just rotating from deep within the hip sockets. There's a little bit of a rock. Okay, we did notice that happens when we go across the midline, but we don't want it to just collapse. Okay, I don't want to see an arching in the low back and the ribs lift. We keep the core, the suspenders, nice and tight. One more time. Find more rotation from the hip sockets. Only go as far as the body allows. All right, bending the knees here. Next, we'll be going into a single leg stretch and then double. So first thing, find your anchor points. Weight down into your sacrum and the back of your ribs. Feel the cylinder, your core contraction here, holding you from your low ribs towards your pelvis. Inhale, nod your nose. Exhale, float your head. And then take your left knee over your left hip and then tabletop. Now I'm going to take my right hand to the inside of my knee. The other hand is going as far forward on the leg as possible. So tabletop, keeping a 90-degree knee. Take an inhale here, point the other foot. So we're just keeping the toes down. And then take an inhale. Exhale, switch your legs, switch your hands. Inhale, exhale, switch. Inhale, exhale, switch. Inhale, exhale. So the work comes from your thoracic, your sternum, reaching down to help you to float. Exhale. Keep that shin parallel to the floor. Beautiful. If you want to go for the full version, if your hamstrings are not tight, then you can go ahead and straighten through the other leg. And only go at 45 degrees. If you go too low, you're going to move into a north tilt. So keep it like you're sliding your heel on a coffee table. For 4, 3, 2, 1 more. Beautiful. Go ahead and let the head down and then let your feet come down. So we'll now go into the double. If double is not feeling it for you today, continue with this single, please. Okay. So for double, you want to have room behind your head. Let's do a little bit of rib cage arms to get ready for this. So starting with your home position, inhale, long spine, reach your arms towards just bring your arms towards the ceiling, but don't reach them up. Big difference. See how my shoulder blades are off the ground? Keep the shoulder blades anchored. And then start to reach the arms back while you keep the shoulder blades anchored. Inhale here with the arms back. Exhale to center towards vertical. Inhale. Exhale back. Inhale here. Exhale vertical. Inhale back. Keep the low ribs down. Exhale vertical. Inhale. Now I want you to think about reaching the shoulder blades down and wide as you are reaching up, back. Exhale, vertical. One more. Inhale back. Reach the shoulder blades towards the sides of your ribs. Exhale, center. Okay. Inhale, bring your knees over your hips, sinking your femurs. Keep your sacrum buried. Keep it where it is. Inhale, tabletop your legs. Bring your knees together. Exhale, nod your nose, float your head. Take your hands to the outsides of your knees. Inhale, arms reach back. Exhale, hands to the knees. Inhale back. Exhale. Inhale back. And exhale. Now you can continue or add the legs. Inhale, legs reach forward on the coffee table. Exhale, bring to table. Inhale, slide on the coffee table. Exhale, table. One more. Inhale, slide. Exhale, table. Let your head down first and then your feet down. Good. Home position. So I always like to teach 3 rounds of core work in my classes, something I've just been doing since I've been teaching fitness. And the next one is going to be a single leg stretch. So if you have tight hamstrings, this is very common, it's pretty common, then I really recommend having a bend in your knees, okay? Don't try to overstretch your leg to make it straighten. You want to think more about working within the range of your body, but really taking it to the range that it can go and holding it in that limit without overexerting or without straining. So feel it out, feel what works for you. We're going to start with an inhale, long spine. Find your anchor points. Exhale, bring your left knee over hip. Keep your sacrum down, okay? For some reason, whenever that knee comes up, the sacrum wants to lift. So bury the sacrum. And then inhale, straighten the leg, okay? This is where that hamstring tightness will talk to you. Inhale, nod your nose. Exhale, float your head. Take your hands to the back of your leg, and make sure that the arms are straight. So this other knee can be bent, okay? Or you can straighten. But listen, do not let this leg go down. If you bring this leg down, this leg needs to go back more, okay? It has to be a really big splits if you want to do it that way. So really instead, always 45-degree with the leg, okay? Inhale, we're going to bend the elbows to pull in twice, and then switch. Pull, pull, switch. Pull, pull, switch. Pull, 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 pull. Pull, 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 pull. Pull, 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 pull. So get nice and long through your spine. Sink your sternum. And it's not about bringing the chest to the leg. We want to sink the sternum. It's about stretching the legs apart from each other. Yeah, stretch the legs away from each other. That's how the legs work dynamically. Last 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, and 1. Go ahead and let the head down first. Bend the knees, let the feet come down. Great work. So we just have one more variation to do. The advanced variation of double leg stretch or kick, double leg kick. So it's pretty much exactly how it sounds. You're going to take both legs and straighten them up. Now the head can stay down, but if you do, I might recommend you put your hands into a diamond under your sacrum. It would feel really good if you have any low back issues, any low back pain. Otherwise, hands to the base of the skull. Interlace your fingers, bring your elbows into your peripheral, into the scapular plane. Press your shoulder blades into your back ribs. Inhale, nod your nose, sink your sternum, float your head. Exhale, lower your legs halfway to 45 degrees, or if you want to go really low, you can, but feel the work in your pelvis. And then exhale to center, vertical. Inhale first. Exhale down halfway, feel your co-contraction. Exhale, center. Inhale. Exhale, 45. Inhale, hold. Exhale, center. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Inhale. Exhale, center. We have one more. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Feel the work in your co-contraction. Exhale, center. Roll it down. Bend your knees, let your feet rest. Great work. Good amount of core, right? Feels so good. Get all of the deep, deep muscles to work. Huh? Okay, we come to our side for the next part. So side lying. Come on to your elbow. This is side bridge. So your elbow is going to be a little bit forward of your shoulder, like a kickstand, rather than being directly under you. And then we want to have the hips. So I'm using the back of this mat to gauge my hips in line with my heels and my elbow. So if you had like a wall behind you, you would be kind of against that wall. And then this other hand can be on your hip, or if you want to get fancy with it, it can be behind your head. Okay, let's check in with the core. Remember, we don't relax or drop our core. We always co-contract, we hold all of the beautiful muscle tissue, lift it up from pubic bone towards sternum. Feel that work holding you together. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, press up into your bridge. Inhale, hold. Exhale, lower. Work through the shoulder blade too. Make sure you're feeling it pressing in, anchoring. Exhale, lift. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, lower. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, lift. We're also working the outer hip of the bottom leg. And exhale, lower. One more time, inhale. Long spine. Exhale, co-contract, lift into side bridge. Now stay here. You can take the other arm up towards the sky and just pose. Feel the work in your stabilizer, the shoulder blade, your pelvis. Take one more inhale and exhale, lower. Okay, great. Now we'll get to move into a move I love. It's called mermaid, and it's a little bit of some steps. So let's start working on the setup. So come onto your hand rather than your elbow, and the top leg, right? Because we were just on our hips. Your top leg is going to bend, and the bottom leg is going to be straight. And then we start. It's so funny that this is the starting position. I call this beach model or model pose, right? When else would you do this, right? What else would you do with this kind of a pose? It's like, hey, well, also Egyptian yoga, there's a pose like this in Egyptian yoga. Anyways, all right, so we're gonna keep our body nice and long, keep your ribs down, and then we're gonna, feel free to watch first if you like. Take an inhale, reach up into a side plank. So that's why we did side bridge. I'm gonna straighten my legs, I'm gonna stagger my feet. My feet are not stacked, they're staggered. And my arm is over my ear, okay? And then I bend just like I had started. So this leg straightens, this elbow bends. That's pretty much the flow. Okay, so take an inhale first. Exhale, lift up to your mermaid. Whoop. Inhale, long spine. Exhale to lower. Now notice if you're really bearing all your weight into your shoulder, that can be dangerous. We want to instead think about the shoulder blade working towards the side of the ribs. That's the feeling of anchoring that you want. Okay, inhale first. Exhale, mermaid. Lift up. Okay, now we're gonna hold. Bring the arm up. Take this top arm, Reach it under your ribs. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lower. That's it. Again, if you want, you can do the side bridge instead of this. We're going to do 2 more. Inhale. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, vertical arm. Exhale, reach underneath. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, return. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, vertical. Exhale, reach underneath. Find your shoulder blade. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lower. Awesome. Now we just have to do it on the other side. Go ahead and flip around. Come onto the elbow first. Remember to make it a kickstand, so elbow is forward of the shoulder. Find your points of connection, heels, hips, and elbow. And the challenge is to not collapse, right? We don't want the top shoulder to drop. We want to keep the body stacked. Find your stabilizing in the bottom shoulder blade first. Top hand can be at hip or back of head. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, lift up. Feel the shoulder blade reaching to the side ribs. Exhale, lower. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, long. Exhale, lower. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, co-contract and lift. Now hold here and take the top arm up. Beautiful. Feel the length of your body as you reach. And exhale, lower. Okay, we're going to move into our mermaid. Come onto your hand. And then bend the top leg, straighten the bottom. And then the top arm is resting. So model pose, beach model. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, lift up, straighten through the legs. Now we're going to inhale and exhale, lower down. We'll do 2 more of the warm up. Inhale first. Exhale, lift up. Inhale first. Exhale, lower. Again, work from the core. Not all of it is upper body. Inhale. Exhale. Stay here. Inhale, straight. Reach the top arm to vertical. Exhale, reach under the ribs. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lower. We only have 2 more. You can do it. Inhale. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, reach. Exhale, under the ribs. Inhale, vertical. Exhale, return. Good. Really feel that shoulder blade reaching to the side ribs. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Inhale, vertical. Exhale, reach under. Inhale, lift. And exhale, bring it down. Awesome. That was our mermaid work. Yay. Now we get to move into seated. Sitting on your sit bones. So if you have tightness in your hamstrings, you may need to work more on getting the pelvis towards a south tilt. Okay, so south tilt kind of looks like you're sticking your booty back. It's kind of how it feels like. And then you want to feel the weight of your sit bones move down into the mat. My feet are the distance of my fist or sit bones. Inner thighs active. Feel the length of your spine nice and tall. And then hands come to the back of your legs. Inhale, long spine. We'll do a seated roll back as a way to warm up our spinal flexion. Exhale, curl the pelvis to north and start to reach the back of your spine from your sacrum up to your cranium and straighten your arms. Inhale, create length. Exhale, hinge from your hips, bend your elbows. And then inhale, undulate up to a straight spine. We'll do that 2 more times. Exhale, north. curl back into a C curve. You're peeling the muscular tissue away from your pubic bone. Inhale, bend from the hips. Inhale, undulate up to straight. Exhale, north, C curve. Feel that scoop of your ribs away from your thighs. Exhale, hinge. Inhale, straight spine. Now we get to move through a move called roll up, which is all about teaching you how to get into your spinal flexion using your core. So start with your knees bent, stay in your start position. Now just take the hands off the legs. Inhale, exhale, curl to north, and then go all the way to the floor. Add your rib cage arms back. And exhale, bring them up and forward. As you nod your nose, sink your sternum, and hold your C curve to come to your sitting bones. Inhale, undulate. Exhale, north, roll back into your roll up. We're going to roll up after this part. Exhale, reach up and forward. Nod your nose, sink your sternum. Hold your C curve, come to your sit bones, roll up. Okay, now we're going to go back, north, C curve, spine to the floor, rib cage arms, hold here. Now straighten the legs if you like. Press the gluteal folds down into the floor, but keep those ribs down too. Lots of core work. Exhale, reach the arms forward. Nod your nose, sink your sternum. And then find your sit bones as you keep your C curve, reaching your arms by your ears. So I like to think of an ice cream scoop, scooping from my hips to my ribs. Inhale, undulate up to straight. Exhale, C curve back, or rib cage arms. Exhale, forward. Nod the nose, sink the sternum, hold your C curve, find your sit bones. Find those sit bones. Inhale, undulate up. And then just one more time. Exhale, C curve. Yeah, it's all about your core, right? Exhale, bring it up, forward. Sink the sternum, hold your C curve, find your sit bones, reach, 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 reach. And undulate up to straight spine. Okay, this next one is called open leg rocker. It's a little bit of a doozy for me. I'm not the best at demoing. I have yet to perfect this move, but that's why I'm doing it, right? The teacher doesn't need to be perfect. Haha, no pressure. Okay, so we're gonna come into seated on our sit bones and take your knees, bend your knees. You know what, let's do a little warm up before we do the full version. We'll just do some rolling. So there's a couple ways you can do it. If you're pretty good at getting tight and do a little, you know, your thighs towards your hips, your chest, you can bring your arms around and you can hold your elbows. Otherwise, if your body's a little more, it's a little bigger, you can definitely bring your hands to the legs instead. Okay, it's just whatever works for your body type. And then we're going to rock onto the shoulder blades, not your head. We're going to keep that C curve, okay? Keep that C curve. And then you're just rocking to the shoulder blades and returning to center. So I'll cue the breath. Inhale here at the top. Exhale back. Inhale. Exhale, land. Inhale. Exhale back. Inhale. Exhale, land. One more. Inhale. Exhale back. Inhale. Exhale, land. Okay, so now you know this is about the core. It's about that C curve. It's about using the work. And then adding the legs is the open leg rocker. So I'm going to take my hand to my outer ankles. Now your knees can be bent. This is more accessible. Or if your hamstrings are feeling pretty good, straighten those legs. Now, I want to talk about real quick, when you go into your drop back, your roll back, you are in a C curve. But when you land, you then lift the chest to do your little pose, and then you go back into a C curve, okay? So that's why there's a lot of technique to this. So let's find our C curve, just like we've been doing. Take an inhale, exhale back, inhale, exhale forward. Woo. And then lift the chest. Inhale, exhale, C curve back, inhale, exhale, forward, and lift the chest. Inhale, exhale, C curve back, inhale, exhale, forward, and lift the chest. Inhale, exhale, C curve back, inhale, exhale, forward, lift the chest. We got one more for good luck. Inhale, exhale, C curve back, inhale, exhale, hold. Now, if you haven't tried it, straighten the legs, lift the chest, hold, hold, hold. There's a relationship between the back of your legs and your hands pulling. Press the back of your legs into the hands as you lift the chest, as you pull with the hands. Your whole body's working with itself. One more breath. Okay, yay. We're going to finish off with roll over. It's one of my faves. Roll over is like the roll up, but with the lower body. So we're getting the spinal flexion on both ends. So the easiest version, the modified version of this, which I love to teach in all of my core work, I really do teach this quite a bit. We're going to start with our back, on our back, home position. Bring your knees together and keep your knees together. Keep your knees bent. So to start, we would start by pressing into the arms, reaching the shoulder blades down into the side of the rib cage. That's your anchor. Now, all you're going to do is roll or rock your hips over the shoulders. Do not let your weight go into your head or neck, okay? It stays in your shoulder blades. So inhale first. Exhale, rock your hips, stay on your shoulder blades, and then slowly bring it down. Land onto the sacrum. Inhale, exhale, rock. Inhale here. Exhale, slowly undulate down. Inhale, center. Exhale, rock. Inhale, hold. Exhale, undulate down. All right, we do the full version of roll over unless you want to continue this. So now we go with straight legs. Inhale. Exhale, roll the hips. Now flex the ankles so your toes point down and then slowly roll. Okay, keep the ankles flexed for this. Inhale. Exhale, roll over. Find your C curve. Exhale, rolling it down. Use your arms to help you to slow it down. Okay, now we're going to add more movement with the change of the legs. So inhale, exhale, roll over. Now point your feet and then slowly roll down. Okay, flex your ankles. Inhale, exhale, roll over. Inhale, point your toes. Exhale, roll down. Good, one more time. Flex your ankles. Inhale, exhale, roll over. Inhale, point your toes. Exhale, roll down. All right, we got one more variation and we're done. One variation and we're done. This one's fancy. We're going to go into a little bit of the legs moving forward. So inhale first, bend the flex the ankles. Exhale, roll over. Hold your C curve. Inhale, point your toes. Exhale, roll down. Keep the toes pointed. And then circle the legs like we did in our leg circles out. And then bring them at a 45-degree and together. Flex the ankles. Roll over. Inhale, point the toes. Exhale, roll down. The feet stay the width of your mat as you reach to a 45-degree. Exhale, flex the ankles, roll over, point the toes, separate the legs, the width of your mat, and then we just switch the feet. Ready? Point the toes, reach into roll over, flex the ankles, roll down. Legs go forward together. Point the toes, inhale, exhale, roll over. Flex the ankles, separate the feet, roll down the spine with control, feel the deep core working. And then point the toes, roll over, Last time, flex the ankles, separate, roll down, legs forward together, and then bend the knees. Beautiful work. Give yourself a hug. Thank yourself for moving on your mat today. Let your knees drop over to the left. Keep your shoulder blades down, turn your head to the right. Just like a little twist just to help alleviate any compression. What's also really good about the rollover is you're using the back of your body. You're using the back of your shoulders, your triceps, and you're using your lats too. It's one of my faves. Okay, take your knees up and over the other way into your supine twist. Keep your shoulder blades down. Beautiful. Come into center. Come into child's happy baby. Happy baby. Knees are bent. Hands to the, actually bring your hands to the insides of your feet. Give your feet a nice little pull. Feel your sit bones widen. Especially after that core work, the pelvic floor work, this is a nice stretch. Reach the spine nice and long on your mat. One inhale, expand your ribs into your mat. Exhale, open your mouth. Knowing that only truth is the sun, the moon, and you. Go ahead and bring your knees in. Feel free to sway up to seated or go to your side and press up. We'll end class together with our hands at our heart, thanking each other for being in movement, in self-care, because when we take care of ourselves, we are taking care of the whole, the humanity, right? Good. Deep inhale. Open mouth, exhale. Letting the heart be light. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Let go of unnecessary burden. 1 more. Inhale. Fill up with that divine light. Think of a golden light. Exhale. Share it with the world. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful rest of your day. And please feel free to look at other formats that I offer on my channel. I hope to see you and comment if you can about how this